Could it be? But me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Card Collector Series podcast. I, of course, and your host, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Well, it's been a while. A lot of things have transpired since the last time I've spoken to you, and this topic is something that I wanted to cover a while ago, but life happened, right? So here we are today. We're going to open up a pack of cards at the end of this video, as we always do here on the Card Collector Series podcast. At the end, we will have a value rip of 2020-2021 illusions from the NBA space. So if you're not interested in today's topic, feel free to fast forward to the very end of the video where we'll have that pack rip. So today, I want to talk about Josh Luber's vision for the hobby as Fanatics is set to take over in like 2 years now. So let's go back a bit. I was watching the Sports Investor Card Investors channel, all right, and that's a channel that has a lot of interesting topics and does a lot of really good things for the hobby. And this was back around Christmas time that I watched this video, maybe even before then. And he had Josh Luber, which is a huge get because he is going to be running the Fanatics card division. And his vision for what Fanatics in the card industry and the hobby is going to look like is really what is going to determine how this thing kind of goes. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Josh Luber, he was the brain trust behind StockX and its meteoric rise. And for those of you who don't know what StockX is, um, it's essentially the eBay of shoes and goods and collectibles. So you can go up there, put your shoes up there, and people bid on them, and they show you the stock of the shoe, so to speak. Like, okay, this shoe last sold at XYZ price, and at this size, whatever. And, they started out with shoes for the most part. And now it's everything you could think of. They sell cards, they sell clothing, they sell whatever. But StockX has this meteoric rise, and Josh Luber was really responsible for it. So now he comes over, new challenge for him, and is going to run Fanatics card division, and they want him to kind of do what he did for StockX and really have this thing take off. And some of the questions that I had, and a lot of people in the hobby had, is like, what is this going to mean for the hobby? Fanatics taking over, really having a monopoly over the hobby, so to speak, because they've got the license to all three major sports: MLB, NBA, and NFL. And once that happens, they kind of control the market, and they can do whatever the hell they want to do. And so you weren't quite sure how they were going to go about it. But listening to Luber speak was really refreshing. Now, talk is talk, and talk can be cheap at times. And so we want to see action, right? But, him laying out the vision, so to speak, like, hey, look, we want, the 3-year-old, the 7-year-old kid to be able to walk into a Target or a Walmart and be able to afford to buy cards, have them be dirt cheap. And that would kind of remove the flipping aspect of it. So the flippers that, hover around the retail stores, they're not going to really profit off of the cards being sold at these establishments because they're not going to be worth as much. Now, which I like personally. He also said something that was interesting to me, which is, the mom and pop shops, he wants as many of those as possible because he said he grew up on that. That was something that was nostalgic for him, and he wants to see those brick and mortar shops continue to not only grow but prosper in the future. I think the most interesting thing he said, though, is that he wants to retain the value of cards. And so I think what we're going to see when Fanatics takes over is less retail products and more hobby products. And what I mean by that is over the last, I think, 3 years or so, Panini has gotten really aggressive in the retail market, making things more affordable for people who can't afford hobby products, which is fine, and I know a lot of people probably love that, but at the same time, everything can't have a retail aspect to it. Certain things just need to be hobby. And one of those things that the sports card investor brought up was Select. This past year, Select was pretty much made available to any Joe Schmo out there by having, blaster boxes and hanger boxes and fat packs and what it is for basketball in particular. And they've already done that in the NFL space last year, but this was the first year the NBA has a retail Select product. And while that's been fun to rip open and I've enjoyed it thoroughly myself, what it has done is it's diminished the value of past Select cards, and the Select brand itself has been somewhat minimized in terms of its value because someone can pull an elephant or a zebra out of one of these packs. It's not as significant as someone pulling it out of a hobby box because of the availability of it. When something's exclusive and you can't get it but in a few select spots or in a certain amount of quantity and the price is set, like one thing that Panini hasn't done is it never has really diminished its exclusive or elite brands. So Select used to be one of those, right? And that's when people started to get rubbed the wrong way. When you take a Select and you make it retail ready and available for everyone, you diminish that brand. They haven't done that for brands like National Treasures. They haven't done that for Spectra. They haven't done that for some of the elite brands, Impeccable. These are brands that you can only get in the hobby space. There is no retail value because these are the elite products. Select used to be that way as well. Now it's not. And Luber said that one of the things he wants to do is make sure that he keeps the value intact of the elite upper echelon brands. He wants to keep those in place. So I thought that was one of the most interesting pieces of information that he revealed. He sounds like he's got a great plan. Like it's not going to be this whole blow up and build back up from, start from the bottom and build your way back up type of deal. Like how it felt when Panini got the license to NFL and NBA, where you could see the changing of the guard. We had all these new brands, Panini and all of this stuff that started to come out that we had never seen before, and it was kind of foreign. I don't think they're going to take that approach. If you look around, Fanatics already has their own set of, cards. So in the Prism space in particular, they've got their own set of Prism. So you could get a mega box, and it'll be a Fanatics mega box. You get certain mega boxes from Target, certain mega boxes from Walmart, and then Fanatics has their own, mega box or own blaster box. So they're integrating themselves in that way. I don't know if they'll have their own separate brands, like, how Panini came in and it introduced Prism and some of the other brands that they've introduced. We'll see. But one thing's for sure. The retail game is going to change, and I like that concept. The hobby box is going to be something that will be coveted again. And I think when you see that happen, this is what will change. We've gone from base cards being not necessarily worthless, but base cards being diminished in value because they're so readily available. There's so many of them out there because when you make a product retail, everyone can get their hands on it. So now a base Luka Doncic rookie card or a base LaMelo Ball Prism or base LaMelo Ball rated rookie optic isn't as valuable as some of the, base cards of yesteryear, because they're so more readily available in the retail space. So if you pull back on that, it'll make base cards worth more again. And even those highly sought after inserts have been somewhat diminished because they're easier to get their hands on. You know what I mean? Um, those will become more valuable as well. So I think you'll see the value of things go up, which is what we all want. Now, again, the exclusivity and the rarity of these items and getting your hands on them will also go up. So it'll be harder to get your hands on a Tom Brady kaboom. It'll be harder to get your hands on a Patrick Mahomes or a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow color blast. It's still hard to get your hands on one of those, but it's not hard to get your hands on a downtown, right? It'll be harder to probably get your hands on some of those things in the future. Like he said, and we'll leave on this note. He said that Panini went from 14 Zion Williamson rookie one of ones in 2019 to, I think he said to 42 or something like that LaMelo Ball one of ones in 2020. And I mean, that goes to show you that you're taking a one of one and you're really diminishing what that truly means and the value of a one of one means when you've got so many of them out there. So he's trying to limit that kind of stuff. You know, make the cards that you pull that are rare, and make them worth as much as humanly possible. So I find it interesting. I like the vision, but again, the execution of everything is going to be key. And so we'll see. And something else that he said, and we'll leave on this, I promise, that he said that was interesting was that it sounded like they were going to take over sooner rather than later. Remember, the MLB license still belongs to Topps, I think, up until 2023. And the Panini license for the MLB, or excuse me, for the NBA and the NFL doesn't run out until 2025. He sounded like they were ready to take over here in the next year, maybe year and a half of all of them. So something could be in the works where they take over a lot sooner than we think. That's just something to give some thought to, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, illusions. I've had fun with this in the blaster box and mega box space. Let's see what we do in the value pack space. We'll get in here, 12 cards in here, see if we pull any heat. So we start out with a Malik Monk, Draymond Green, Kobe White, Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, we have a Moses Brown teal numbered to 75. Look at that. It's a rookie card of Moses Brown numbered to 75. That's number 39, so we'll sleeve that one up. Chris Paul, Thomas Bryant, Patrick Williams, and Killian Hayes. So we actually did get a hit here. I mean, it wasn't a massive rookie. You know, it wasn't a LaMelo or Ant Edwards or James Wiseman or Tyrese Halliburton or Desmond Bain or one of those types of guys. But got a Moses Brown teal numbered to 75. Hey, how about that? And in these value rips, orange and teal parallels are what you should be on the lookout for. And we hit a teal one. So that's nice. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on the Card Collector series. If you enjoy this content, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button for more of it. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And also hit the like button as it helps this channel grow exponentially. Leave your comments down in the bottom about how you feel about what Josh Luber had to say. I know it's been a while, but it's still pertinent today. And what you think the direction of the hobby should be. And are you excited about, the changes potentially to the retail? I know a lot of people actually like that cards are more readily available. And he wants to have like tiers, where, the bottom tier is for the little kids, for the kid that wants to just walk in and buy a pack of cards for $3, $2, 99 cents and come out of the store with some cards like when he was a kid. Then that second tier is going to be for the people that right now are hovering around retail, buying things that are affordable, and there'll be products in that realm for you, he said, but they won't mix with the upper tier products like Select. That won't be coming to the retail space. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the way it should be. Like, you should be buying NBA hoops from retail. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a retail product. Donruss is a retail product to me. Those are things that you should be able to get readily available in the store. And I think that's what he's going to be kind of aiming towards, putting products in their proper slots and then keeping the elite in the upper echelon. But anyway, leave it down in the comment section. What do you think? I was fascinated by that whole discussion on the Sports Card Investor channel with Josh Luber of Fanatics. I look forward to chopping it up with you in the near future. You know what it is. It's hunting season. It never ends, especially here on the Card Collector series. Look forward to more pack rips, more big openings, and hopefully some big hunts that yield us some big game. In any event, I'll see you guys next time. Happy hunting. Take care. LouieTeeNetwork.